Good afternoon. Hi, I'm Grace, and I'm a literacy specialist at PS 94. And this is a storytelling lesson. So we're going to start today with a little warm up, and then we'll actually be reading a comic today, a Spider-Man comic, if you're interested in the Marvel universe. And then we're going to talk a little bit about it afterwards. So to get started, grab a piece of paper, something to write with, a pencil, a pen, marker, whatever you have nearby. And we're going to start today with some affirmations. And affirmations are words or phrases that you repeat to yourself, either out loud or you write them down. Today we'll be doing both, but important for you to write them down also. And these are words and phrases that remind our brains to focus on and connect with the good stuff, and to remind ourselves how awesome we are, which we can all use a little reminder of sometimes. So we'll start with some Marvel affirmations today. So I'm going to share my screen. So our first affirmation is, I am flexible like Groot. I am flexible like Groot from the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. You may know. And when I say flexible, I don't mean bend down and touch your toes flexible. I mean flexible in your heart and in your brain. So what does it mean to be flexible? Flexible means you're able to change or meet new situations. So for example, if you are so excited to go to the park and then it starts raining, do you get really upset? It's okay always to be disappointed, but do you yell and scream, or do you say, you know what, I'm gonna do something new this afternoon instead? That's being flexible, and I bet that you're more flexible than you think you are. So I'd like you to write your affirmation on a piece of paper. I am flexible like Groot. If I move on past this and you haven't finished writing, just pause the video until it's time, you're ready to move on to the next one. And while you're writing your affirmation, I am flexible like Groot, I want you to think about, how are you flexible in your life at home or at school? If you have a grown-up with you or a sibling or anyone, you can talk about that with them. You can write it down if you'd like. So the questions that I pose after the affirmations are really just for you to think about, but if you'd like to write the answer down, you can. All right, we'll move on to our next one. I overcome challenges like Gamora. I overcome challenges like Gamora. So that's your affirmation. That's what you're writing down. I overcome challenges like Gamora. And challenges are something that's hard or difficult to overcome, right? So if you are studying for a math test and it's something new that you're just getting used to, and you're able to get it and solve an equation, that's overcoming a challenge. And we overcome challenges all the time, big and small. So while you're writing your affirmation, I'd like you to think about, what challenges have you overcome, big or small? What challenges have you overcome, big or small? And again, just pause the video if you need some more time. Our next affirmation is, I am engaged with my community like Black Panther. I am engaged with my community like Black Panther. What does engage mean? If you engage with something or with a group of people, you get involved with that thing or group and feel that you are connected with it or have real contact with it. So I'm engaging with you right now, even though this is recorded and we're through a screen. I'm engaging with the CFL community, with the virtual after school community. You're engaging with me, you're connected and linked to me. So while you're writing down your affirmation, I am engaged with my community like Black Panther, I want you to think, how do you engage with your community? How do you get involved or feel connected with your community? That might be saying hello to your neighbors, helping them out when they need you, playing with your friends in the park, supporting local and small businesses in your neighborhood. Just coming to CFL or to virtual after school or to virtual neighborhood center is definitely engaging with your community and is really great. Your next affirmation is, my impact matters. I make the world a better place like Miles Morales. So that's a long one. My impact matters. I make the world a better place, like Miles Morales. So you can either write the full affirmation or you can pick and choose parts of it to write if that's a little long for you. Or write the whole thing because you can and you're great. What does impact mean? Impact is to have a direct effect on, to make a difference. To have a direct effect on, to make a difference. So Miles Morales impacts his community by fighting crime at night. And you probably don't fight crime at night in your community, but you still make an impact in your community and in the lives of the people that you love and care about. And you're like with your friends, if you're kind, and with your family, you support them. That makes an impact, that has an effect and makes a difference in their life. So think about, while you're writing your affirmation, my impact matters, I make the world a better place, like Miles Morales. How do you make the world a better place to live? Even in very small ways, because I'm sure that you do. So your next affirmation is, I am durable. I can do hard things, like America Chavez. I am durable. I can do hard things, like America Chavez. If you're not familiar with America Chavez, she's kind of new to the Marvel Universe. She's awesome, so you should look her up. And what does durable mean, that big D word? Durable is staying strong and in good condition over a long period of time. Staying strong and in good condition over a long period of time. So while you're writing your affirmation, I am durable, I can do hard things, like America Chavez, I want you to think about, how do you take care of yourself so you can be durable? How do you take care of yourself so that you can stay strong and in good condition over a long period of time? Maybe you get enough sleep, you drink water, you nourish your body with healthy foods, you're kind to yourself, you stimulate your brain with reading and writing. These are all ways that you stay durable, strong, and in good condition over a period of time. And our last affirmation is, I vibrate with positive energy like Jubilee. I vibrate with positive energy like Jubilee. She's got some positive energy radiating out of her fingertips. So what does positive mean, that big P word? Positive is something that's good or helpful. I want you to think about, while you write your affirmation, I vibrate with positive energy like Jubilee. How does being positive, how does thinking good and helpful thoughts feel, as opposed to being negative or concentrating on bad or heavy thoughts? So when we think positively, we don't ignore the negative aspects around us and the harder, heavier parts of our lives. Just being positive just reminds us that we can connect to the good stuff when we need to make our bodies and our brains feel better. Good. So if you're not done with your affirmations, or you want to go back to any of them, just rewind the video and we'll just go on. My question for you, this is not an affirmation, but why is it important to speak positively about yourself? Why is it important to think good or helpful thoughts about yourself? Like, I am flexible and I could do hard things and I engage with my community and I overcome challenges. Why is that important, to think positively about yourself? I want you to think about that. If you want to write it down, you can do a little journaling, but think about, why is it so important to say to you nice and kind and good things to yourself? How does it make you feel when you think positively versus when you think negatively? So now we are going to read our comic. One moment. All right. Spider-Man number 3. Screen. I seem pretty cool, right? So this is in Brooklyn. Our setting is Brooklyn, and we have Miles Morales here as our first character we're seeing. I seem pretty cool, right? I like my parents, I do great in school, my pal Genki Lee has my back, and now I have these sweet powers. Hey, that's my bike, help! But having these new powers makes my life complicated. The truth is, I don't really know what I'm doing. Sometimes I make mistakes. Ah, another thief! No, I'm not a thief. I'm trying to help you. Boom! You can make the sound effect with me if you'd like. See, mistakes. Later. I didn't even think about using my powers at first. I'm no superhero, but then I saw a little kid almost fall onto the subway tracks and I had to act. And it felt good. So pretty much the opposite of being hit by a taxi. I'm just not sure if I'm doing this right. Today was definitely not my day. Too bad I didn't get to talk to Spider-Man after that fight. That dude is so cool. Now we're in Midtown High, Queens. Mr. Parker, you look like you got hit by a bus. I had a rough morning. This is Spider-Man here. He's close. I saved an old lady from almost getting hit by a bus. And then I fell down an open manhole. And spoiler alert, the old lady hit me with her cane and told me I was a bad boy. Like I said, rough morning. I don't have time for rough mornings. I used to be a battlefield surgeon and I run on army time. Shouldn't you be in homeroom? I'm sorry, Dr. Connors, but Mrs. Baxter's Mrs. Baxter retired. I see that she gave her star student a key to what is now my science lab, and I'd like it back. There goes my lab access. Now I can't analyze the hairs I took off of those mutant dogs to see what's up with their DNA. Today is definitely not my day. So sounds familiar, right? That's what Miles Morales said too. But at least one person might understand. That afternoon in Forest Park, Queens. Now I just have to figure out how to tell Miles I'm Spider-Man. So we have to do this interview for the Daily Bugle. Yeah, I figured Gwen has the jump on us, so it'd be better to talk in person. First question, what's your favorite animal? Are you serious? Totally. You could tell a lot about people from what they admire and what they're scared of. Like how do they feel about spiders? Because spiders can seem scary and weird at first, but then you learn more about them and you see that they're pretty cool, heroic even. Are we talking about spiders or are we talking about Spider-Man? I mean, here goes. Miles, do you have a specific reason you want to meet Tony Stark? Huh? I mean, who wouldn't want to meet him? Okay, is there something really unusual about you? What? Dude, this is getting weird. Miles, I know what happened when you fought that mutant dog in the alley. I know what you can do. Oh, dude, are you serious? So you must be friends with Spider-Man. Yeah, I know Spider-Man. He said you've got some sweet moves. That did not go the way I thought it would. My fake deep voice must be very convincing. Yeah, I can do all the same stuff he can. I don't have the web things though, and I can morph into the environment. Think you'd want to hang out? I've got so many questions. He's super busy, but I'll give you his number. By which I mean I'll give you the number on the burner phone I use for calling the police when I catch a bad guy. Gotta go, I'm late for dinner. Tell Spidey I'll text him. Cool, I'll tell him. I thought I would finally tell somebody about my secret, that I have a friend who understands, but I couldn't do it. That's right, Spider-Man chickened out. Back in Brooklyn. That Pete kid's a little weird, but it's so chill to have somebody who finally knows my secret. Ah, help! Okay, that's less chill. You okay? What is that? I don't know. That's why I yelled for help. Looks a little like that dog I fought with Spider-Man. Hey, buddy, get out of here. You don't want to eat her. She looks like she'd bite back. Hey. Yeah, you better run. You know that thing would have bitten your arm off, right? I usually mind my own business, but these lizard things are dangerous. Still, I'm not going in there alone. I'm friends with Spider-Man now. Well, friend of a friend. Finally, maybe if I help Miles with his rat problem, I'll get a chance to tell him who I really am. I mean, who Spidey really is. Whatever, I have a good feeling about this. I can't believe I'm this excited to fight a mutant rat, probably because I won't be fighting it alone. Even if it's nothing, we can get some Robin. My suit is also super repellent. Hi, Miles? Yeah, hi. No more fake deep voice now. I want him to guess. Has anyone ever told you that you look like a burglar? Every time I wear this, that's probably not a good sign. Yo, Spider-Man, what is this? Take your kid to work day? You got an intern? Are those his pajamas? Ignore that. My first costume was sweats too, so I sewed a spider on the chest, and now they call me Spider-Man instead of Pajama Boy. It's a big improvement. It went through here. I didn't want to go in without backup. So you think of me as your backup? No, I mean, look, I don't know if these powers, our powers, hold up against rabies. I don't know anything. I figure you know exactly what you're doing, and you could help me figure things out. I definitely don't know everything, but let's check this place out. Those mutant rats are dangerous, shall we? Are those giant mutant trash pandas? I don't even know how to answer that question. Let's get a closer look. To be continued. All right, so that was our Spider-Man comic for today. And now we're going to discuss it a little bit, define some words. Let me just pull up what I need. What is doubt? So these are some new words we're gonna talk about. They might be new for you. They might be words that you're already familiar with. And if you'd like, you can write them down to practice defining them. What is doubt? Doubt is to not know for sure, to be uncertain about the truth of something. Examples: I doubt that I did well on that test. She's beginning to doubt that the stork brought her baby brother. And an example of doubt in the comic was when Miles Morales was going to bed and thinking, I'm just not sure if I'm doing this right. Today was definitely not my day. He was doubting himself. He was not sure or certain of the truth. So I want you to think about, when was the last time you doubted yourself? When was the last time you doubted yourself? You weren't sure if you could do something. It's really normal for us to doubt ourselves. But then we have things like affirmations to remind ourselves that we can do anything we put our minds to. And if you want to pause the video and reflect on any of these terms, you can. Or answer these questions, you can write them longhand as well. What is sympathy? Sympathy is kind understanding and concern for others when they're sad, suffering, or having trouble. Example, Nina had sympathy for Max when he was so sad about losing his pet mouse because she had lost her pet dog. An example of sympathy in the comic was when Miles Morales says he's got to go to dinner, and Peter Parker says, cool, I'll tell Spider-Man to text you, even though he is Spider-Man. And Spider-Man thinks to himself, I thought I would finally tell someone my secret, that I'd have a friend who understands, but I couldn't do it. And he's looking for sympathy, someone who understands his job. And Miles does. And Miles, meanwhile, is thinking the same thing to himself. It's so chill to have someone who finally knows my secret. They're looking for sympathy from each other. because it's hard to be a crime fighter. And they want people who understand them, who can have some sympathy for them. So I want you to think about who was the last person that you had sympathy for? Maybe it was someone you know who was having trouble, having a hard time, and you said, I understand how they're feeling, and I have sympathy for them. And maybe you didn't know that word then, but in the future you can use that word. And finally, what does it mean to be an ally? A-L-L-Y. An ally is a person or group that gives help to another person or group. Your ally is your helper, someone who supports you. Example, Pete and Miles are allies in crime fighting. So Pete says, I can't believe I'm this excited to fight a mutant rat, probably because I won't be fighting it alone, because he has an ally in Miles. So the last question I'd like you to think about or write down if you'd like is, who are your allies? Who are the people who support you and give you help? Who are your supporters and helpers in your life? And you probably have more than one. You may have a few. It might be your teachers, your leaders at CFL or after school. It might be your grown-ups, your siblings, your neighbors, your friends, your cousins, your family. If you think about it, you've probably got a lot of allies in your life, and you are probably an ally yourself to many other people in your life. So if you'd like to go back and review any of the words or affirmations we discussed today, please do. I hope you enjoyed the comic that we read, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. And thank you for taking this storytelling time with me, Grace. And that's all. So have a great afternoon. Bye.